Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when I upload this video. Welcome back to Mr. Radio Face. The reason I've been starting the videos with morning, afternoon and evening is because my work schedule has been a little bit different recently. So the videos, they get uploaded when they get uploaded, unfortunately. But starting next week, we're going to be back to good evening. So, one thing I want to point out is that the whole idea behind this is that we're continuously improving. So today, if you notice, we have a different set of lights at the end, and I want to improve the picture quality. What I noticed yesterday is that the colouring was a little bit off, so we'll perfect it and we'll get to the point where the set is just the same every time. Yeah, all about improvement. Another thing I really want to improve is my voice. If you remember back to the first episode, the idea behind this channel was for me to talk for 10 to 12 minutes confidently and uninterrupted. And what I've noticed about my voice, and let me try and make a put first just to make it interesting, and then we'll discuss it. 1 second, deep breath. Still on 0. One more attempt. No. Okay. Well, we'll get to 1 in a minute, but like I said, what I wanted to say about my voice is that I've noticed that when I'm talking, even though I'm not actually talking to anyone, I'm just in a room by myself, my voice does not hold a lot of confidence. It's almost as if I am asking permission to have a conversation. And what I've noticed is if that's happening when I'm stood in a room by myself doing putting practice, if that is how my voice is coming across to me when I'm only talking to myself, how is it coming across to other people when I'm actually in a conversation with them? Does my voice hold confidence? And I had to have an honest conversation with myself and say, probably not. My voice is quiet. My voice is withdrawn in a sense that, like I said, I'm asking for permission to be part of a conversation with someone. And I want to change that. I want my voice to hold confidence. I want my voice to hold strength, and I want it to be a voice that people want to listen to. That's the whole idea behind this channel. I want people to want to listen to me in real life. But the only way I can do that is by practicing. So that is what I'm going to try and do. For this episode, I'm going to put emphasis on the words that I'm saying. I'm going to try and speak directly, and I'm going to try and avoid filler words such as and words like that. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to improve. I want to speak confidently for an extended period of time without feeling like I am taking time away from someone else's opinion. Okay, and we'll get back onto that in just 1 second. Let's try and make a put. Let's try and make a put. Deep breath. Okay, we'll work on the confidence of my voice, but let's get some confidence going in the putting. Let's try again. I will explain to you again, like if this is your first time watching Mr. Radio Face, the concept is we're not going to move on to a different golf challenge until I've made 10 putts in a row. Yesterday we got 5 putts in a row. Let's see if we can beat that today. One would be nice. One would be nice. Let's try again. That's one. And we're back down to 0, but we got 1, okay? It's a start. So yeah, back onto the theme, see what I'm saying? I instantly reverted back to my regular voice. If I'm going to make a change, I have to stick with it. So, we're going to go back to that confident voice that I tried to start the video with. I don't know how it sounds on video, and I don't know how it sounds to other people. The reason I don't know that is because I've never spoken like this. I've never spoke with authority. I've always spoke as if the person who is going to be listening to me is doing me a favor by listening to me, and that is not a good way to be. I am now approaching middle age. Something I want to work on, so I hold more authority in my regular life. So let's see if I can make a put and go straight back to this authoritarian voice. I don't like that word, but that's the only way I can describe it compared to my regular speaking voice. Okay, let's try and make a put and we'll try and get back to it. So just to explain, we're only aiming for the hole on the right hand side of the putting mat, not on the left hand side. So unfortunately that doesn't count. So let's try again. Can't believe we've only made 1 putt so far. We got off to such a good start yesterday with that 5 in a row, and we can get back to that absolutely. So let's go again. That's 1, okay. So I'll take a short break and I'll just talk a little bit more. So yesterday we stop saying yesterday we spoke about finances, taxes, mortgages, all of those lessons that you don't really learn until you're an adult, and it's something that you have to learn on your own. And one thing I noticed when I was listening to the video back, that's 2, is even though it winds me up that the schooling system doesn't talk or teach those subjects from an early age, my voice didn't really portray my true feelings about that. So I'm going to try again with a stronger voice. So what we were discussing is the fact that it's not until after school and you're thrown into the big wide world that you have to start to learn about finances, mortgages, taxes, all the things that are super important in adult life, you're not taught in younger life. And that just stresses me out a little bit, because I think that needs to change. That's 3. That certainly has to change in order to make people more well-rounded as they hit adult life. As you can see, my voice shifted back to my regular voice, and I noticed the reason was it was an insecurity. The window of the room that I'm in is open. I heard people outside of it, and therefore I retreated into myself. My attempt at a confident voice went back to my regular voice. It It's smaller, it's quieter, and it doesn't have as much depth behind it. And that's something I truly need to work on. That's something I will work on. Now, sadly, we have hit the 10-minute mark, and I do need to get to work, but let me try and, well, let's go for the 10 in a row. I might as well, I'm here. Oh, jeez. Okay, so we finish on 3 in a row. 3 in a row was our, it's not our record, 5 in a row is from yesterday, but it's a good start. We will hit that 10 in a row at some point. But for now, we have to make do with that. Okay, so I try and leave these videos off on a positive start. As you can tell, sorry, a positive ending. As you can tell, today my voice is a little bit shaky. I don't sound consistent, and that is because I'm out of my comfort zone. Talking with confidence is out of my comfort zone. See, my voice broke. That's something I need to work on. If I'm going to earn the respect of the people around me, then I need to speak with confidence. And that's something we're going to work on episode by episode. This is just something we're going to perfect. That's the whole idea behind this channel. So the positive message I'll leave you with today: if there's something you want to change, change it. Nothing comes easily. It's hard work. But no matter what, you only fail if you quit. Until next time.